Damn, I don't even. It's gonna like kill my throat before I do. Yeah, do my intros like that. Aha. Little speaker, speaker box techno. You know, speaker box techno. Get this thing all loaded up. Get this thing all loaded. Cause today I'm flying solo. Mr. Loosemore is not here. But that's okay. It happens. I believe he's a little busy. He might be tuning in or joining us in a few. And we will be seeing. If not, it's all good. It is all good. I am just sorry. Got to get it shared on my page quick. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. Make sure I got this thing all good because this is a really difficult show. Oh my goodness gracious. Holy crap. There's so many injuries and COVID is, oh my God. And hello, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. How we doing? Welcome to North Sports Dynasty. I am one of your hosts, Andrew Faubert. Alex Loosemore, as I was just saying in the back there, is not joining us today or just yet. He is not available at the moment. He may be tuning in later on. If not, I mean, it's okay. And he's a very busy man. But I am back. I'm here to do the Saturday edition of North Sports Dynasty. Here to give you guys some updates on the craziness that is currently going on in the sports world of football and of the NHL and NBA. Everybody, as of like 10 minutes ago, to all those people who, it doesn't necessarily matter. It's kind of more of, say, the big joke that has happened in the NBA that Kyrie has entered the COVID protocols. So basically everything that he said and tried has, been not exactly the way that he wanted it to go. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, to like and share North Sports Dynasty and me at Andrew_Faubert. Because today we're talking about this madness that is going on. Like what? Some teams don't even have quarterbacks. Some teams are down to their fourth string wide receiver. And some of these teams are really like, it's crazy. There's no better way to describe it right now. The worst part about it is for a lot of these people, this is their fantasy football playoffs. This is the time where people are trying to make, say, either money or win their championships, win a belt or the trophy, which we're still trying to get set up here at North Sports Dynasty. It's just craziness that has gone on in the last year of COVID. But man, oh man, what is going to happen? What is honestly going to take place in the next little bit here? We've got games that have been moved to a Monday and Tuesday. We have situations going on right now that are beyond anyone's control. You got NFL players literally on Twitter bitching and complaining at the NFL, like tagging at NFL, thinking that the people behind the Twitter handles are the actual people of the NFL. No, they are representatives of the people of the NFL. They're given emails every single day. This is what you tweet. Thank you. You can engage with some fans here and there, but that is about it. But I get it. There's a lot of frustration. Baker Mayfield has done it. There's a couple other players. I should have had all their names available. But a lot of players are voicing their concerns because last year, they made a wide receiver turn quarterback to get a game going. They didn't reschedule the game. And I get that there's conflicts there. I mean, situations last year are a little different than this year, just in regards to how they could have moved these games. But it's madness, man. You gotta help in a better way. There has to be a better way to do this. Take the fantasy out of it. I know this is a fantasy show, and we actually touch base on, the NHL and the NBA and the MLB and NASCAR and everything else we like to talk about. But this is a fantasy show. And the problem that we're having right now is people in the playoffs in fantasy have like a lot of money invested into this. There's sponsorships, there's literal buildings built on fantasy football, and the money and the intelligence and the stats and the everything that it comes out of, and podcasts and shows like mine, except I do it in my basement. Like, if something more were to happen, they may actually have to take some of these games and just move them to a different date, which means that teams that were supposed to be playing on, say, a week 14 or 15 may have to play now on a week 16, and they may have to extend another week. This is crazy. I don't even know how to really, let's say, handle all this as a fantasy football guy, but as a dynasty owner, this becomes a lot more difficult for us dynasty owners, because if you're a dynasty owner, you don't just drop players. If you're smart, you have a couple of spots on your bench that can be, droppable, and you grab players that you need, and you don't necessarily care about those players. You can drop them here and there. But the problem is becoming here is we don't necessarily know who to start picking up. Like, let's going through a couple of these teams here. Some of the top trending players right now to grab in free agency, or as we like to call it, just basically the open waiver wire. On Sleeper app, number 1 is Craig Reynolds. DeAndre Swift and Jamal Adams aren't available. And a lot of people thought it was going to be Jamar Jefferson and Godwin Ingwebuike, or whatever, however you say his last name. That was not the case. It ended up being Craig Reynolds. So a lot of people who entrusted the Lions backfield, which I only did in one league. I only tried it in the one league. It didn't work. It did not work at all. Ramondre Stevenson is number 2. New England's running back. I'm looking at it right now. Brandon Bolden and him seem to be the only ones that are available, with Damian Harris, J.J. Taylor, Dan Vitale, James White. All of these guys are out. Devin Ozigbo is an interesting option. He was the one option a lot of people thought in the James Robertson year, where he came out of nowhere. And if you ended up picking up James Robertson and putting him on your bench like I did, and Myles Gaskin, those were the 2 guys that really helped you. He is now trending up a little bit. Jeff Wilson is number 3, the running back for San Francisco, because both Elijah Mitchell and Trey Sermon, the 2 running backs that they drafted this year, they're out. COVID or IR. It's madness all over the place. Number 4, David Njoku. He's available right now only because it looks like, just going down the list right now, Austin Hooper is Austin Hooper is put on COVID. There it is. That's why. So he's going to be the number 1 tight end target. And number 5, of course, Albert Wilson of the Miami Dolphins, because Jalen Waddle is out. So a lot of people in the playoffs last week, like me, who had some players out, say like Jonathan Taylor, Jalen Waddle, so on and so forth. Now all of a sudden you're hoping to get these guys back, and now you've just lost one. COVID is a bitch. This is becoming a massive problem that the NFL kids doesn't know what to do. They don't know what to do. And what do you as the owner do? Really? It's hard to decide, because honestly, there's a game tonight, and I'm trying to get to my schedule. There's a game tonight. There's going to be games on Sunday. There's going to be a game on Monday, and there's going to be a game on Tuesday. So one thing that does become a little bit available to the players. Oh, sorry. Let me just NFL schedule. Thank you. Is you have the ability to change out players if something were to pop up randomly. So if another player goes down, all of a sudden there's a major injury that comes into place on Sunday. You have options available to you now on a Monday and a Tuesday. And by the looks of it, you got Monday, you got the doubleheader, and Tuesday you got the doubleheader. So on Monday, you have the choice between the Raiders, the Browns, and the Vikings and the Bears for fantasy football players, and there's a lot of value there. Tuesday, you got Washington, Philadelphia, Seattle, and Rams. Number one quarterback right now, technically, is still Jalen Hurts, in my opinion. He is going to be able. He's going to be able to be a flex option for your quarterback because you're going to have Russell Wilson playing, and you have Stafford playing, and you have Heineke playing. Actually, I believe Heineke is out due to COVID. So there's options. There's options all over the board. All we need is a little bit of help for us people who are begging to get past this because I want to represent my championship. And in the North Sports Dynasty League, it's me versus Robert. Robert was one of the guests on the show. He has got one stacked team. And if it wasn't for him dealing with the same issues that I am currently dealing with, I would probably lose instantly. Just it's the way it is. Around the league, though, with going back to some of these players complaining, and they have a good reason to complain. The NFL is taking precedence over the money games, personally. It's not a shot at the NFL. It's them having to do what they have to do to keep generating the money, to keep the promises but we make money. Yeah, but you didn't keep your promises on the player safety or the proper protocols and stuff. Yeah, but we can pay off those fines because we made the money. A lot of these fans don't want to see that anymore. Personally, I don't even want to see that anymore. This situation sucks. It really does. We don't know what's going to happen going forward. Like, if these games get moved around even more, we're possibly going to have an issue here where major leagues, they fall out of grace here. I don't know what's going to happen here. Like these fantasy leagues, not the NFL. Johnny's down there in the comments. Sharon, thank you very much. Tell me he didn't binge Witcher. Oh my God. I got 2 episodes in. Caught the fiance. She's all, getting into it now. And because she likes the Lord of the Rings. So she caught a little bit of the glimpse of that and the elves and stuff. And she's all like, okay, maybe I'll watch this now. But for a fact after this show, once I go do some baking with the kids, I got to wrap a couple more presents. Oh my God. If the fiance, I can't say too much because the fiance is probably going to watch just because but I got her. I'm going to post pictures on Christmas, but I got her something that people are going to be like, whoa, I should probably do that. Johnny Dean also says the Browns are getting players back as well. They are, but there's so many players that are out. The Tyler Lockett situation in Seattle as well. Like Seattle's banged up pretty bad. And I don't understand how, don't understand why, but like it's happening. All these people are getting banged up. And it's for fantasy, like what do people do? Picked up Craig Reynolds. I agree. Don't jump too fast. NFL just came out saying a lot of these players who are out are actually testing negative. Okay. See, I just woke up. I'm actually just literally waking up right now because I had a late night with the pretty lady. And this is and of course I was watching Witcher. So I literally just woke up, came down here for the last hour and a half, and I'm just starting to catch up on some of the news here. And like I said, I've been away for a while on Box Report. Just timing. It's the way it is. I got a new job, so got to do my thing. And I see my old friend here. Look at it. Oh my gosh, it's Andrew Faubert. Look at you, Joshua Cole Allen. How you doing? My favorite Boston fan. Listen, anyone who knows me knows that I am not a Bruins fan. I'm not a fan of any Boston team at all. But if you're Joshua Cole Allen, the respect that there is back and forth for when you give ribbings and stuff, because he knows I'm a Red Wings fan, and it's just like we're one of the original 6. We're gonna hate each other, but we're gonna respect each other at the same time too. I hate the stereotypical Boston Bruin fan. He hates the stereotypical Red Wing fan, like anybody would. But he's not a stereotypical Bruins fan. This guy knows a lot of stuff, and you should check him out on Pewter Report. I hope I got that right. I really hope I got that right. Drop it down in the comments there for me, Joshua Cole Allen, please, if you don't mind. I think it's Peter Report. I should really know my crap. I'm so sorry, Josh. I have disrespected him live. I binged the entire season right after our show Thursday. I can see that. I'm one episode in. Can't wait to binge some more once these kids. I agree. That's the same with me. Once these kids are asleep tonight, once the baking's all done, a little bit of presents are wrapped, the whole rest of the night, just give me The Witcher. And there's 8 episodes this season, so it's proper. I love that. It's great. I got only 6 more episodes in. I only got 2 in, so great series. Season 2 for me, far better than 1. Though that opening first episode got me. That was what got me into it. Thank you. Okay. Don't make me sweat. Like, I'm by myself tonight, buddy. It's just I don't know if Alex I think Alex, just a little bit busy. I ain't gonna call him my co-host. If he slept in, he slept in. I don't care. Let's talk about the Buccaneers for a second here too. The Buccaneers are getting back Antonio Brown, Mike Edwards. We saw that there's going to be no disciplinary action going forward. Like, they're not going to be cut or anything like that. Antonio Brown took his picture inside of the practice facility, kind of, doing that flex, like, I ain't going nowhere. And Josh Cole Allen, since you're here, just to let you know, I've given you a couple of shout outs on a few shows for you being absolutely true to your word, where you're like, the Buccaneers are going to need Antonio Brown. You'll see why when this offense just flourishes with him in that position that he does. And honestly, dude, you're right. You're 100% right. People need to hear that a little bit more. Your takes aren't dumb. There's a reason why you are now in the big leagues, buddy. So shout out to you. The Buccaneers here, having Antonio Brown going forward, though, I think is going to be a lot more helpful for this offense. It allows them to really control the field going forward. Now, whether people think that, we should have cut him, Antonio Brown should be gone. There should never, ever be any more of this Antonio Brown controversy or anybody else, blah, 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 blah. No. We're in a win mode now. The Buccaneers are in a win mode now. I've always said that if they're going to stay in this mode, that we need to keep everybody, including Antonio Brown, including Letty, including Ronald Jones, as much as I don't want to admit it. But we need to keep everybody and all the people we've added so far. We've had some injuries. We've added the depth. It's good. It's great. Look at the record. It's 10-3. And that's without having them for a couple of weeks. That's the depth. Okay. Now we're getting them back. That's going to bring it back to the Super Bowl championship caliber team that we know we can beat. So how is this a problem? How is this a problem to some of the fans? It makes no sense to me. We need to cut him. We need to do this. Unless the protocols in the NFL actually stated to most teams that he should have been cut, then that's when I would have agreed with it. Same with Mike Edwards. But what they did was a mistake. They owned up to it. They are vaccinated. They got their suspension. They got their punishment. And now they are back on the team. For the Buccaneer fans to continue, we need to cut him and we can't have this anymore. Well, I mean, technically Brady had a 4-game suspension before, so we should have never signed him because of bad logic there of his suspensions. Wouldn't that technically have gone into the drafting process of the last quarterback that we had and all the crap that he did in the offseason? This is a special team. Every single player on this team right now has a special spot. I agree that what they did was wrong. A lot of people do and a lot of people don't. But this is the team that we have going forward. We're not about to lose the groove, the moxie, that swagger. Just because a couple guys are coming back in the locker room and made a mistake. Got publicized. We know what reporters in the Tampa Bay Times and, the Tampa Bay media, everybody has that. When the negative is negative, all those types of people come out. When the going is good, they sit there and Hi, Brady. Yeah, it's really nice to see you and stuff. Hi, Antonio. Two-Face. That's all it is. And it happens with every team. So don't necessarily follow this media too much. Bringing them back is not going to cause a locker room blowout. If it did, Brady's going to address it right quick. Brady's the GM of that locker room, in my opinion. There's certain players that obviously are not going to be cut by his choice. But that's his team. It's Arians' team. It's everyone's team. But if he's the one making the decisions on the offense, and he's the one that made the decision to bring Antonio Brown there's no reason why he wouldn't be the one to cut him if he knows that he's making some dumb decisions that are going to affect his team and his locker room. Now, got caught there for a second. Let's look at the fantasy outlook for this for a second. People are saying, "Whoa, what is it? What is it going to bring against this? This is the first time I'm going to publicly actually say their name this week. The Aints. What are we going to bring against the Aints? Well, bringing Antonio Brown against a depleted team like the Saints right now is probably one of the best things to have, wouldn't it? If you think about it logically, their defense is a very, very strong point, a very big strong point to their success whenever they get on a successful run. But also that offensive line that Johnny Dean has just thrown at me so many different times. Yeah, no. It happens. You can't say that. You can't say that it's a bad offensive line, Andrew. That don't happen. Like, what are you talking about? They have a horrible offensive line. They proved me wrong. And it was something that I didn't want to necessarily admit. But it's the way it is. Okay. We're playing the Saints. I don't want to play the Saints. I don't. This is the week that what I did last time was basically screw the Aints, all these statuses every day, waking up, and we had a bad game. I want to have this game so bad that I've done exactly what I did last year when I wanted the championship so bad. I said nothing. I said absolutely nothing. So you know what I think is going to happen? I think we're going to win. But you're not going to hear it from me until after the game. Because I'm just I'm going back to the old rituals, I guess you would say. All right? So let's get that out of the way. I think that we can be extremely successful against this Saints team. We just have to play our game. And now we have most of the players, if not all of the players, back to make it happen. I see Teresa has joined, says, "Hey, Andrew." Hello, Teresa. Thank you for tuning in. I agree. They were punished. They did the suspension. Move on, folks. That's the problem with our society in whole. If someone has paid their debt, don't punish a person for the rest of their lives. Jeez. I agree. Take that into consideration with everyday lives and in football, hockey, and everything. If they got punished, accept it and move on. You do not need to hold it over them all the time. I got to learn that lesson sometimes too, but it's the way it is, right? It's just the way it is. And then Johnny says top 3 line in the league. And that's the thing. Their tackles are out. Get them tackles out of here. So now they just got the guards. It's going to be oh man, Shaq Barrett's going to eat. Shaq Barrett is going to eat. It is going to be, I hope, anyway. I really hope tomorrow is going to go the way that I want. I really do. Alex Schomber says, playoff beard still in effect. I see, buddy, this beard ain't going anywhere. This beard right here, I can't shave it. I'll never shave it. Same with the hair. Look at this hair. Look at this. If I put my hat, if I do it like this, and I put my hat like this, I look like one of those emo kids in high school, and I love it. If I go this way. There we go. Yeah, I'm an emo kid everywhere. But I hate it. I hate this hair. But I'm doing it for a reason. I'm just saying, I'm doing it for a reason. You should put it in locks for the playoffs. Like for like a pirate look. Oh yeah, buddy. Oh yeah, when we get to the playoffs this year, I'm gonna go all out because I'll be a little bit more excited than I was last year for the playoffs. And I got a guest. Oh my god, I love guests.
What's up,
John, how we doing, buddy?
All right. I'll be doing better when you win that battle ball championship because all of our hopes and dreams are on you right now.
I know. There's a couple. So I'm in. So Alex's league, where he does the individual defensive players, and which I like. It's actually been quite fun. This week I was playing. Sorry, not him. I was playing. I think one of his family members, and they had 3 players left. They had Buda Baker, Sony Michelle, and somebody else, and they needed like 32 points. And I'm like, well, it's over. I've lost. And they only got like 17 points combined. And I'm like, oh, I'm on to the next round. So I'm loving this. But this week, what is happening? How are we supposed to get over this week?
Dude, I have no clue. I think they jumped the gun right now because now they're talking about all these players can play now.
Yep.
And it's, I don't know, they got some problem with 32s. I don't know, I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to try to be a doctor. The labs are running the tests again, and a lot of them are just false.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's just maybe like again, we're not doctors here. I don't know if it's the next variant or just whatever the hell it is that's just going through everybody, and that's what everybody's getting. I don't know.
There's 4 Browns that can put that now, so they're off the COVID list. And
it's getting ridiculous.
It's the testing process. All right, it's a brand new disease. Not really, but it is.
Yeah.
Rush to get everything set up for the vaccine and all that stuff. So I knew it wouldn't be 100. They might have said 97%. I knew it wasn't going to be no way. There's no way because they didn't have enough time to research. You know what I mean? Before it came out. So I figured it would be fairly effective, and that's what it's shown. It's been exactly what we thought it was. It's as good as you're going to get right now.
Yeah. Alex Schomburg says we want the Ravens to win this week. Pray for Lamar.
That's not happening, dude.
No, pay for Devontae Freeman to just absolutely go off and carry the ball 40 times. That would be absolutely amazing because I have him in the flex position in the North Sports League, and I really want it. I really, 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 really want to win the North Sports. I just want to get to the championship at least, because then win or lose, I can use it as a funny thing where it's like, oh, look at that. I can never win my own league. This is great. I make it to the championship and I always get my ass kicked. Or
can you hear me?
So I was going to say it does, a little bit. Like I think if you lean to your left, it kind of broke out, but where you if you move to the right a little bit, then I think you're good. Yeah.
I have this issue on my show. I just listened to my show today for the first time. I was like, oh my God, I went on with that. I should have done.
That's all good. We'll get it fixed. I got about half an hour left on the show anyway, so we'll get it fixed at least some point. And you sound pretty good now anyway, so Green Bay needs to lose. That's right, Jameson Young. Thank you for tuning in. Now, who's Green Bay playing again? Green Bay's playing Atlanta. Was it Atlanta? No. Who the heck?
The Ravens.
The Ravens. That's what it is. That's what it is. Is it the Ravens? Hold the heck on. Sorry. I'm just looking at my. It is the Ravens. Yes, that's right. I mean, do we want to have the first bye though? You know what I mean?
It's never really mattered to me. I'm one of those guys who think that if you're going to win, you're going to win because of your team, not because of some scheduling thing.
And I've tend to.
It is called a Super Bowl. You're getting a trophy for this, so be the best team out there. Period.
Yeah. I see. I agree with that, but I also know how we played, say, coming out of our bye this year. And I get how some people would, be a little hesitant, being like, like, what if all of a sudden, the way that it would go, I think we would still play the worst seeded team. But what if, say, that worst seeded team is, I mean, as bad as it sounds, but like a 7-10 Washington football team, or at worst, actually, what I wouldn't want to see is the Rams lose a couple more regular season games and then beat a really, really good team. And then we got to play them as a 6th or 7th seed team. That would not be fun either.
I think we'll have to face the Rams sooner or later anyway.
I don't want to play the Rams. I said that at the beginning of this year. I do not want to play the Rams in the playoffs. If there's one team
I think they've got more chinks in their armor than they had when we first played them this year.
Oh, for sure. Like Robert Woods' injury for sure definitely makes them a little bit more easier to beat. But also the running back situation that they have, a couple of the banged up linemen, their defense is still hit and miss. Von Miller has like very, very flashy games. So
if he's involved in a game,
that's exactly.
I mean, your best ability is your availability.
Yeah. Kyle says I robbed him in the NSD. You're damn right I did. And I told you I would.
Kyle got you?
No, I got him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. We played in the first round. His team was a little banged up too because he had Christian McCaffrey, and Calvin. I think he had Calvin Ridley too. So like he had some people on IR, of course, but he still had a very good team and a very good year.
I'm one of those guys that picked up Craig Reynolds yesterday.
Yeah,
he's going to get more touches than anybody on the field, man. Because look, you don't have Hawkinson.
Nope.
Their whole receiver core is banged up.
Yep, except for Amon-Ra St. Brown. He seems to be the only one that's actually like available.
Those two are going to be the only available ones out there. And you see how when Hawkinson's on the field, he's going to get the ball because he's the only one they can depend on, really.
And Goff only throws to like the planned targets. You know what I mean? But he seems to be that type of quarterback.
Whoever's within 5 yards of him, because he can't go over 20.
And it seems like this is going to sound weird, but it seems like the Goff, the McVay system is just like implemented into his brain of like the first half of that system, where Goff got so comfortable being able to just throw those 5, 10, 15-yard routes to Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp and Higbee and Everett and Todd Gurley when he was there, that mentality won't leave him because he knows how comfortable he can be with that because he can't throw downfield. And what I think the way that he plays now with that short field is how I think like 3 of the quarterbacks that are going to come out in this draft play. And I don't think any of those other top prospects are really good deep throwers. Like the Carson Strong maybe develop into it. The Mills dude from Liberty that I like, I think will have to be developed for like 2 years, like a Kellen Mond, to even get close to what you're going to hopefully see. But
Strong is the only one I see that can change the quarterback outlook in this draft. Mm-hmm. I like Pinkett, but to me, he's a mid-second to top of the 3rd round. And that's the highest I personally would project any of these quarterbacks because none of them are going to be starters.
And so that's what I was going to state too. Where in drafts that we've seen before, we've seen starters basically go to like the guys that we know. We usually see them fall either from like the 1, 2, 3 area to like the, at furthest like 7, 8, 9. And then you see like those, a lot of teams like, and a lot of teams don't like. So right in the middle team quarterbacks fall between like the 12th spot to your 18th and 20th spot. And then your developers always sit, 21st to 32nd.
Right.
A lot of these quarterbacks in this draft are developers. So some of those good teams that might fall out of the first round of the playoffs who don't necessarily have a quarterback of the future. Like if Cleveland decides that they're sitting there at, as of right now, I think they're sitting at the 18th pick. So let's say they get to the playoffs and they lose in the first round, and now they got 18th or 19th. And Kenny Pickett's sitting right there.
They won't do it. You know why? Cleveland is not one of those franchises that have a long-term deal with their coach.
That's true. Kevin Stefanski is not there for a long time. He has to prove it.
Yep.
He does have to prove it. Though if I'm not mistaken, Baker was not his quarterback. He was thrown into that situation, right?
Right.
So what if a weird situation came up? Because we did see Chicago all of a sudden have go from, I think it was 18th or 19th, maybe even 20th last year pick all the way up to 13th and grab Justin Fields.
Where I see Baker at?
Where?
Baker is Kirk Cousins. He fights out there just enough to keep his job.
Yep.
He's not taking them over the top. He's gotten them to the playoffs, and that's it. And I think that's about his range. Mm-hmm. But he's good enough that they're not going to just like dump him for somebody else right now. So I don't see Baker in really trouble with his job. They're sitting there scratching their head. What are we kind of like when Green Bay had Brett Favre, and they were going, what are we going to do with this guy, man?
See, I thought you were actually going to go the route of what the Bucs were doing in the offseason when we signed Brady.
No. I think they were either done with Winston, and we're going to look for another quarterback somewhere along the line, or they were going to just hold on to him until something better came along. They already said that he wasn't the guy.
See, and I agree. The problem with that though is like he was asking for like that $36 million, right?
That was the death stamp for him. That was the
yeah.
Oh, let's get the sword out. Cut this one off.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think Baker, just the way that he is, and because he's got the State Farm deal and everything like that, he's probably going to say, "I want 40 to 45," which we all laugh at. We definitely all laugh at, but we then look at what Dak Prescott has done for the Cowboys when he's eventually developed in there. So the question does become for like the Browns, is Baker the future? Like, can he develop into what you want for Stefanski's offense? Or would Stefanski be better off going with like a Kenny Pickett or a Carson Strong or the Riddler out of Cincinnati, or even like one of those other guys?
I'm not high on any of those guys. I don't think they are. I don't think the league is, or they wouldn't be dropping like they're doing. They're just these scouts are walking right past these guys. Oh, he's got some physical abilities, but I don't see much else. That's basically what we're looking at. We're looking at guys that we're putting schemes that, all right, off college schemes are vanilla schemes.
Yep.
They're made so that a kid can come out of high school and go play.
Yep.
Right. So they're vanilla schemes, and some of these schemes fit better than others for each individual.
Exactly.
So you'll get a college player that goes, say, to Texas, who they thought was great, but they don't fit their scheme because they're poor at recruiting.
Yep.
And kind of like Florida has been lately.
Oh, God. Okay, fine. All right.
That wasn't a shot because I like Florida, but man, they cannot get a quarterback to fit their scheme for nothing.
Nope. And you know what?
That's I've seen so far. So
yeah. Now the other side of it though is we've seen so many times before in a draft, like last year, for example, when me and Alex were doing mock drafts, we knew that there was a couple of teams in that top 10 that were going to either trade back or trade up, like one way or another. It just didn't make sense for them to sit there at that pick and pick the player that would have necessarily been dropped to them there without getting certain value when they could have gotten them 4 or 5 spots back. Like that's just, it's inevitable. I totally get that. And I think this year, like for example, if I put it to here, I have right now just like the current top 10 order, and Detroit, Houston, Jacksonville is the top 3. But that New York spot between 4 and 7, where the Jets and then the Giants have 5, 6, and then the Jets again at 7, Carolina, Atlanta, Philadelphia, whatever have you, that becomes a very, very intriguing, say, trade to say Seattle or Aaron Rodgers, because I don't like me and you have said, and me, you, and Alex all said this last year. This coming off season may not necessarily be that big for quarterbacks. I think there was one that was supposed to, and that was the North Carolina kid, and someone will probably take a shot at him in the first round, Howell there, but this is supposed to be the offseason for the Rodgers, your Russell Wilson, and your Deshaun Watson. And one of those guys is going to get probably traded for a boatload. And the Giants are sitting there right now being like, we can offer that.
You think anybody's going to touch Watson now that the FBI are digging into his all his social media records, all of it, his laptop, his phone, all that stuff. So.
Well, I mean, hey, they did it with Brady.
Different charges.
I mean, different definitely different charges.
Yeah.
Let's get that established. I agree. Yes, but I mean, it can mean a lot of different things, of course, too. But yes,
well you understand though, a warrant. In order to get a warrant, you have to have proof enough just to get the warrant.
Yep.
So that kind of changes things in my eyes a little bit.
I think I personally, this is just me. I think certain text messages or emails could have been misconstrued to be used as that. I think that's one of the things that kind of came and popped up as well. But on this platform and on every platform, we still hold true to innocent till proven guilty. But also, when it's something like this, you side with the women until
I'm just talking football. I'm not even really talking about that. It's going to change the situation because people are going to look at it differently. His value is going to drop.
Oh,
maybe not to the Texans, but
to a lot of teams. Yeah, they'll be like, you're not getting 3 firsts and 3 players anymore. You're getting maybe 2 firsts and a roster player of your choice, but that's about it. You're not getting
Dabo Sweeney, head coach for the Texans. Got to go rewatch our show, man. We did a I don't stop and think. Dabo is the only person I can think of that fits into that organization.
See, what's the coach there right now? I actually think isn't too bad. I just think the situation that he got this year was a pain in the ass. What's his name?
Not the name that's going to be bringing people to Texas, though.
True, but also that also being said, and I'm glad you're on the show here for that. And sorry, I got something stuck in my thumb here and it's ticking me off. I think, and I've been a victim of this too. I think a lot of times, and now we've seen it. And when I say victim, I mean I'm gonna say it right now. Johnny's on the show and he can contest. I was wrong about Urban Meyer. He's a Florida god, and that is it. He's an Ohio State legend, and that is it. That's as far as it goes, and I'm going to hold true. I thought I thought he could have made Trevor Lawrence the Peyton Manning of the NFL, but no, I was wrong. Boy, I was wrong. So
it's funny because Trevor was the nail in his coffin. Here we thought it was the kicker, and it was actually the word just came out that it was actually Trevor Lawrence that was the nail in his coffin over the running back.
Yep. And you know what? To be honest with you, this is going to sound weird. I think a lot of people may actually, like, if Dabo Sweeney name starts getting tossed around, old me would have said, you know what? Put him in Jacksonville now. He gets Travis Etienne and he gets Trevor Lawrence. He's already got a couple of guys who he knows how to just utilize. That would probably give him some success. But I'm tired of that. I'm tired of it. So this, to be completely honest with you, to what I honestly want to see, because I know a lot of people have thrown the Brian Leftwich idea out there. I know a lot of people want that.
That's not happening.
No. And I agree.
We'll stop and think. Why would it happen? Why would Byron Leftwich walk away from a job that he's probably got a sealed deal with as the head coach of the Buccaneers?
More than likely.
And with his staff pretty much already sitting there.
Exactly.
And go to another crap organization like that where you've seen what Shad Khan does. He's not a fit. He's a fit owner as far as he gives these guys a chance usually.
Yes.
But as far as that goes, he's not organized for football yet.
No. But you know where they need to go? You know where they need to go? I honestly, I mean this because I'm starting to think like you. I'm starting to think like Rick. I'm starting to think like Ray Kennedy and Keith, and it's starting to piss me off here. It just means I'm getting old. Marvin Lewis. And now this is the reason.
See that he's not going to win you no Super Bowls, but he'll get you to the dance.
But that's what I mean. So the reason why I think this is if you can take Marvin Lewis and he's your head coach, and then you allow him to go and grab a nice offensive coordinator with the new mindset of the way that the NFL is playing right now. And the same thing with the defensive coordinator. And all he has to do is deal with the culture and all the head coach stuff that a normal Marvin Lewis successful organization can have, like the Jaguars. Because Marvin Lewis, we can go through the track record, has never really been given a all-star caliber quarterback necessarily to his ability.
He'll get one.
Well, and now all of a sudden, he's going to be gifted Trevor Lawrence for at least 4 years, say this offseason, because they'll definitely pick up the 5th-year option and blah, blah, blah. That's what happens with all first overall picks, unless you're Ryan Leaf.
You think so? I'm going to make a prediction here.
Go ahead.
5th-year option.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Trevor Lawrence is. I said it preseason. I'll say it now.
Yes,
I've never liked him. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is an NFL quarterback, not at all a pro level NFL quarterback. I don't see it. I haven't seen it all this year.
I think if he was given the time like Aaron Rodgers, he could eventually probably play like Aaron Rodgers.
I think he could be like Aaron Rodgers, but not on the football field.
Ooh, interesting.
He's already started running his mouth to coaches, which I understand that situation.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You're a first-year rookie, and you're out here running your mouth. That's not going to last long. If that's the kind of attitude you take into a team, then you're not going to last on very many teams.
Now, to say devil's advocate here, Peyton Manning did kind of have that. Like people were like, "Oh, he's got attitude." Sometimes like winners, like guys who just don't give a shit about anything else but winning. That could be one of those things. Trevor already knows, like, listen, I've been doing this for how long, right? The kid never lost regular season games. He only lost championships. And then when he won a championship, he was highly emotional. He's got his wife. He's got this family. He knows that. And he's comfortable with it. But now he's got like a loss and he's running his mouth because I understand with, say, the silver spoon that people want to call it and this, that, and everything else. But I'm starting to, like, I see a little bit of like that winner where he's just like, listen, get this fucking Urban Meyer piece of garbage off of this team. Get a real head coach in here who could just run everything else properly, and I'll do my job.
I got to see him throw a slant around a lot better than he's throwing.
Listen.
When I ever listen to a quarterback as a coach, this guy ain't got no room to talk to about a coach until he can actually perform the way he's supposed to.
Very true. Because I thought, listen, if he could hit a slant route a lot better, Laviska Shenault would have been a top 5 wide receiver this year, hands fucking down.
Yep.
And instead,
and it's not because the routes weren't there, because they were written into it.
Yes, they were.
They were there all year, and he just couldn't hit it.
And if you guys got for the fantasy football people out there, it's not about like even PPR leagues, like points per reception leagues. It's not about the receptions they get. It's about the targets. That's how you know if a wide receiver and the quarterback have chemistry.
Right.
Just because KJ Osborne last week, for example, for the Minnesota Vikings, just because he had 3 receptions and 1 85-yard reception or whatever the heck it was, or 85 yards in total and a touchdown, that right there shouldn't tell you that he's a good wide receiver. It's the 8 targets. That means that when Thielen went down, he stepped up. He was that guy. You know, I make fun of Tyler Lockett all the time. Tyler Lockett still sees 12 targets per game. It happens. Like it happens. You know,
he's stealing targets from DK, man.
And yeah. And I know a lot of people hate that, but that's also the thing where people were like, well, what about the Buccaneers this year? What do I do? Do I take Godwin? Do I take Evans? And I even said to everyone, and I quote, if you're sitting with like the 12th, 13th, or 14th pick and or even into the second round or third round, and all the wide receivers that are top tier are gone, and you haven't grabbed a single one because you decided to go the running back route, You can steal an Evans or a Godwin, and you can put him as one of your number one wide receiver positions, but you're going to have to deal with a couple or a few weeks where they're not going to have the 30 points or the 20 points. They're going to have like 5 or a 7 or a 3.
You do Buccaneers is the same way you do San Francisco. Like I finally figured out how to do San Francisco. I've triple stacked the San Francisco boys. I got
Kittle, Ayuk, and Samuel. Gotcha.
Yep, absolutely. And it's worked out. Jim Melvin in the Miscreants League, he does the same thing with the Bucks, and he was running at number 1 there for most of the year. Now I think he's dropped to number 4 because he had a couple of problems with Mike Williams.
I mean, hey, I traded him away because I loved having him at the beginning of the season, but I'm like, he gets banged up. That's just the way it is.
At least you got something for him. I dropped him like a hot rock, man.
See,
the week before he had his good game, what was it, 2 weeks ago? He had that really good game.
Yep.
I dropped him then, and then the next week he shows up. I'm like,
yep.
Up yours.
See, and that's why I like Dynasty, because I was gonna say when it came to Laviska Shenault, I have got him in almost every league. Not necessarily by want. I think in 2 leagues I kind of just wanted him because he was available for pickup.
Question. Do you have Gainwell in every league?
No. Alex's league I don't. The COVID league no. Okay, so in the COVID league I'm in, that's the big money league with a few guys that are out here who are like big honchos. I drafted him in the 3rd round of the rookie draft, and I ended up getting a 1st round pick, James Conner, and I want to say Devontae Parker. For him, and I was another running back, but it was a backup to, I think it wasn't Tony Pollard. I think it was Madison, but I traded that over to him because the guy was an Eagles fan, and he was like, I already know Kenneth Gainwell is going to go off, and I'm like, okay, like I hear you on the actual. Kate, hold on 1 second, John. You're gonna laugh at this. Check us out. Ow, that hurt my ear. So I got my first box, first one of the year. It's finally available. Like these things, like I saw it at Walmart and I'm like, oh my God, people forgot about these year. So I went and I bought one, and there was a Trey Lance base card in there. So eventually that'll be worth a little bit of cash, but nothing like too serious because it's not like signed or anything like that. But the big card in there, kid you not, check this out.
Oh, I can't see that shit, man.
Kenny Gainwell.
Oh shit, you did.
And it's a good one too. That's why I laughed so hard when I opened it yesterday. And I got my fiance. There was one pack that it was weighted, and it's to anyone who knows what they're called, they're the sweater cards. So every holiday season they have the running backs. They put them in hats. And they take one of their pieces of the jersey and they put them in those. Yeah, I got Ramondre Stevenson's this year. Last year I got J.K. Dobbins, and that was the only ones I ended up getting.
I'm hearing a trend here.
What's that?
J.K. Dobbins out.
Yeah.
Ramondre
Stevenson out. Yeah. So every one of these holiday season cards I get, just don't draft that player. Don't use that player right now. Though, oh man, never mind. There's like a trade in the other league that I really should have taken when I did. I should have never modified the trade. I should have just been like, meh, it's okay. What do we got here? Lighting in the NFL's all-time great. I would say that's one of the all-time worst kickers, wouldn't you think?
Well, if you look at it right, you got to figure he did boot the guy clean out of the stadium.
So I mean, Uncle Nico is like the best quarterback of all time because he could throw over a mountain.
Absolutely, man. Hey, you hear everybody talk about everybody's physical abilities. Like none of the other people have physical abilities. They're getting drafted.
Yeah,
they all do, man.
No, it's true. Eric Marino says, "Hey guys, thank you for tuning in, buddy." Alex Chambers says, "Our only shot at number 1 seed is if the Packers lose this weekend." No, I don't think so. I think our rest of the schedule, I think we can do pretty well. But I did listen. I'm with everybody else. I want to be number one, of course, but I don't. I want to
There's still
play.
home field advantage, but still, we we walked in last year and just tore them up, man. We got Brady time. Playoffs are Brady time. It doesn't matter what happens.
Well, I mean, we've seen like it. Though here's the thing, elite teams beat elite players. And right now in the playoffs, nobody has been elite enough to beat the Buccaneers. That's why I'm scared, because throughout history, if you look at all the teams that have ever beaten Brady, they're in the Hall of Fame.
We still haven't played a perfect game yet either.
Exactly. And I'm scared of that too. So
It's basically we're running the same way we did last year right now.
Except Fournette can catch the ball and do way more with it.
Oh yeah, and we're a better team. As many injuries as we had this year, we've played better this year than we did last year. Mm-hmm. Think about that. Doesn't that scare you? I know it scares everybody that is going to face us in the playoffs right now.
Yep. Kyle Yacy says fair win, but super unfortunate week for me. It was, dude. I saw some of the one. Listen, hey, I thought Cordell or Patterson from Atlanta was just going to absolutely screw me.
Yeah, I'm going to break my no trade clause just for you, Andrew. If there's anything on my roster in Battle Ball you want, just let me know.
I don't know if we could do. I think trades are off already.
Are they?
Yeah, but in Dynasty, when eventually, if you ever make a Dynasty League or if you join us in the Dynasty League, hi puppies.
You can still pick up a waiver though. Just tell me who to cut.
Oh, yeah, that's cheating though. That's cheating. I don't like doing that.
I don't care. You got to win this damn thing, man.
I will.
Our division's on the line here, bud.
Kyle says fair win, but it was unfortunate for you. I'm rooting for you to win it. I do appreciate it. There's no shot at you, Robert. Even Robert said he's just like, I think me and you deserve to be in the championship. I'm like, well, I mean, Hot Dog and Pop did really, really good too. And the other guy actually won like 7 straight to get into the playoffs and is in the second round too. So I'm like, I mean, anyone winning it, I'm proud of too. And he goes, any advice for me next season? The only advice I can give to you right now, and I stand by this, and I'm not saying this as a person I'm interested, and I'm going to send you offers eventually, but you have Christian McCaffrey. Last year, if you would have traded him and gotten, some of the trades that were sent to you, of course, like some of the trades I sent to you, Alex sent to you, some of the other guys sent to you. Those trades may not become available to you anymore. But if you are able to trade Christian McCaffrey, if you put him on the block when the trade window opens again, people are going to probably offer you like anywhere between pick number 6, possibly right off the bat, all the way down the pick list and players, right? You already have a good roster without him or without him. You could easily get 3 players and future picks to fill your roster going into next season and not have to do much. And so I know I have I know some people are going to be like, what? I have Alex's first round pick. Alex is literally playing in the trash playoff part of the thing just to affect the pick. He doesn't want me to have the first overall pick.
That's me and him are playing against each other in Battle Ball for the consolation.
Yeah. But see in Dynasty, because I have Alex's pick, and he was and I don't mean this to offensive, he was one of the worse off players this year. So his pick is supposed to be either number 1 to number 3. So I took that in consideration when we made the trade, and now he's doing his best that he can to make sure that pick goes between 5 and 8. So and I'm like, you're a little bugger, and he's like, hey. Screw you, buddy. And I'm like, that's fair though. That's fair. I appreciate it. So, but for you, Kyle, that's the one thing that I would do is I would dangle Christian McCaffrey out there to the league in the offseason, see what everybody's going to do. Don't do it with Calvin Ridley, because you'll break my heart when I don't offer you enough, but I want him really badly because I love Calvin Ridley personally. But that's
personally,
I personally, because he was my number 1 player that I said to watch out for this year. And he literally just leaves for personal reasons. And I'm like, okay, sure. I respect it. You're a football player. You got to do what you got to do. But fuck.
I don't think anybody's going to jump on CMC next year like they were trying to do this year. I warned everybody. CMC does not have. He's not going to finish the season anymore.
Chuba showed that they, like, depending on which route they go next year, whether it is with Cam Newton or Sam Darnold or a new quarterback or whatever, they can run Chuba and another running back and they'll be fine. So I see it too. It in Green Bay. It's true. It's either Philly or Washington. Oh, I see. VOY, FYI. What? I don't get it. But Melissa Strickland, thank you for tuning in. That was the Urban Meyer thing. Praying Jamal Dean can play a full game this year. I also agree. I want our three-headed monster ready for the playoffs.
Yep.
And Joshua Loyola says start one running back, one wide receiver, and one flex. Jamar Chase, Deontay, Javonte, and Barkley. And I would assume that is for this week or just in general. But let's just say it's for this week. Yeah, this week, and we'll do Dynasty, of course. PPR, as we usually do. Jamar Chase is going to be my wide receiver. No, I'm going to put Deontay as my number one wide receiver. I'm going to put Jamar in the flex, and I'm going to put Javonte as my number one running back. Because in Dynasty, Javonte, and everyone, this is already off-season content. It's not like it's a mystery to anybody, but Javonte, his value right now is very, 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 very high in Dynasty because everyone knows that Melvin Gordon ain't going to be no starter next year. That's a lot of money that they could easily cut off of the Denver roster or use in a trade to possibly go lure like Rodgers or Russell Wilson or Deshaun, whatever the heck they decide. What's that?
Rodgers is going to Pittsburgh.
Man, if Rodgers goes to Pittsburgh, I don't know, man.
I'm not arguing with the guy no more. The same person that said Brady was going to the Bucs around this time last year said the same thing this year about Rodgers to Pittsburgh. And Cowherd said that too. So,
I mean, here's the thing: do you think Rodgers would want to go with some of the childish shit that's going on with his wide receivers?
Pittsburgh is a solid organization. That's Rodgers' biggest problem right now is the organization he's dealing with.
He did say on the Pat McAfee show that they are doing everything right in Green Bay to try and like get him to stay. And
he's saying that right now because he's going into an NFL.
I mean, also true. I'll give you that.
But as soon as he loses that game, and he's going to lose that game, because that's how they do.
I mean, yeah, this is true. All right, Johnny. My time is up here. I'm gonna get you out of here, and I'm gonna wrap this thing up. And you got a show coming up here in a bit, or?
Yes, I do. Thursday night. I was going to promote Alex's show, but I don't know if he's going to do it or not yet.
Yeah.
Thursday night, we're going to have a special NFL edition, 9 p.m. show. It's the same time slot as our other one, but this is going to be a holiday edition show. We're going to have all the guys from Bucks Report.
I'm trying.
All the show hosts are going to be on there. They're going to get 15. They're going to be doing like a 15-minute segment. It's going to be like a recap of the year, your favorite things and your worst parts of the season and stuff. And it's just, we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
Have cookies and cake and donuts and shit.
Are you sending some my way?
Virtual.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Thank you for popping in today.
Later, guys.
Take her easy, buddy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. This has been North Sports Dynasty for today. Frodo, come here. You want to say bye to everybody? I see you being all weird. Come here. Come on up here. This is my dog, Frodo. He's just a little sketch bag. He sees his mom. So now he's all like, whoa. But I just wanted to say thank you all for tuning in today. I will be off tomorrow because it'll be a late game. So you'll be tuning in with Rick and his counterparts. I might pop in and say hi, depending on the time. But I have to work early, so I will be off for the cheap seats again. But don't worry, decided to stay and do a little bit of the cheap seat stuff today. Talk about the Buccaneers, a little bit of Dynasty, get a little bit of Johnny Dean in here, and so on and so forth. So thank you all for tuning in. I will see you all next week. Let me put the banner up. Where is my banner? There's my banner. All right. Now I can just I can chill in the background for a moment. And thank everybody for tuning in to North Sports Dynasty on a Saturday. Saturday. All right. You know what it is. Like and share North Sports Dynasty on all social media platforms. Like and follow Andrew Faubert also on all social media platforms. Same with my co-host Alex Loosemore. His Twitter handle is is Loosemore65 minus Andrew_Faubert. Thank you all again for tuning in. Much love. We will be talking to you next week. Sometime. We'll definitely not be here on Christmas. Sorry, not doing a Christmas show. But we will come and talk to you probably Sunday, on Boxing Day, or the day before. Who knows? Love you all. Take care. Happy holiday season. Merry ho ho. Get drunk. Celebrate. Do what you got to do. Let's go, Bucks. Fuck the Aints. Have a great weekend.